we've got a fun mixture of people in this class. We've got several people who have been here for quite a while. We've also got several people who are first timers. So this is going to be a really fun class. Kind of the intention that I was thinking about with that fun mixture of people is the intention of just having fun with it, not stressing too much about, left, right, what am I supposed to do? But just kind of let your body have fun with it. Like obviously listen to safety steps, like every little step that you need to do, but more than anything, just kind of let yourself have this experience at this moment. Because how often do we kind of live too much in our head and not enough in the present? So that's our little experiment today. How much can we just kind of be part of this experience, whatever's going on, whether you've done it 50 million times or whether it's your first time doing it this way. Just imagine, what if this was, a fresh new experience? How can I let myself listen to my body like this is a totally new thing? So that'll be the idea that's in the back of our minds as we're heading on. And so with that, what we're going to do, I like to start off with some nice initial stretches while we're laying back in our hammock. This gets us into stretching some of the major muscle groups of our body. So the arms are going to start off pointing all the way to that back wall. And you'll start to let the shoulders go to the right and to the left. If you're in the front row, just kind of be conscious or sometimes bend your elbows so that your fingertips don't touch necessarily. Just go right and left a couple of times. Feel how that gets us into the shoulders and into the ribs. I like to kind of move my breath as much as possible. Good, and when we bring our spine back to straight, we're going to start moving into the legs. So right knee comes into the chest. Give it a nice hug, pulling that right knee in. Sometimes here I'm focusing on hip flexor, so really pulling that knee in tight. Other times it's more about my toes, so letting those toes do some nice circles. And let's move on to hamstring. Right leg stretches clear up to sky. How slow, deep breath keeps us in the present moment with the stretch. So we can keep on making little tiny tweaks so that stretch feels amazing the whole time. And then from here, like a pigeon pose, this right foot hooks onto the back left edge. Then you just slide the shin in. You get confused with all the secret neighbors. I've got several experienced people at the front that you can also peek at. So nice hook of that right heel over to the back left. Slide the shin in. This gets us into right hip for that first time. Take 2 more deep breaths for this half. One more good inhale. Exhale, free out this right leg. Another stretch up to sky. And start to slide it all the way down. We'll switch sides. The left knee into the chest. The hug for the hip flexor. Hug around that knee. Pull it in as tight as possible. Maybe that's the focus, or maybe you're letting the toes do some nice little circles. Loosen up some ankle tightness. And this left leg starts to stretch clear up to sky, moving that hamstring. We're grabbing on the back side of the leg, maybe behind thigh, calf, foot. Keep our easy breaths through the flow, helping us deepen the stretch, deepen the experience. Enjoy another huge inhale. Exhale. And like that pigeon pose, this left foot hooks to the back right. Clear the end that's by where the ears are. So pick that end of the fabric, slide the shin into the chest. And a couple more easy deep breaths. Here we go. Another huge inhale. Exhale. Free out this leg, maybe a tug up to sky. And drop it all the way down. So once you're there, leave the legs inside the fabric. Put the hands grip up high to help us sit up. And then from here, we're going to take a nice back bend. So keep the hands gripping on that end that helps us sit up. Slide the hands down. So fabric is closer now to the shoulders or maybe waist, depending on how deep you want to go in the back bend. Then just start to slide backwards until the back bend feels just under your body. Not too much. Feels like a really good heart opener. So our first inversion, so those that are new to inverting, listen to your body. Some people just want to be there for a breath or two when you're upside down and then you're back up. That's totally fine. Other people like to be here for quite a bit of time, so that's also fine. Another huge inhale. Exhale, start to curl the head in. Sit back up and then stretch yourself over the toes. Feel how when you come up, there's a little bit of a head brush. So that's part of what happens with inversions. So that's why we take nice, peaceful, restorative stretches after inverting so that we give our body time to make sure blood pressure is back to normal or flipped back up upright. And just feel how nice of a hamstring stretch this is. Be present with your body. The natural tendency here, since the hips are the heavy point, is to let the knees bend. That's totally fine. That's much more gentle for the back. If you're working on hamstring flexibility and it's in your practice today, maybe you straighten the legs out just a little bit more. So it's personal preference here. Just listen to your experience. So another huge inhale. Exhale. And then sitting all the way up, kick the feet free off the front. We're sitting. So from this place, we're going to take a nice inversion. We've got several inversions on this first segment, so don't feel like you're trying to reach the maximum capacity of your inversion. We're just going to enjoy it for a little while and then come back up. So with this inversion, we're going to hook our thumbs onto this back end of the fabric that's by our hips. The idea here is to push fabric down to about where your pant line is, just because that makes it a little bit more comfortable than when the fabric is higher up by your ribs. So pushing it down to the back side of the hips, and then we want to lean back to lock it in place where we placed it. Hands grab back on for safety when you're leaning back. Once you're there, last step, legs go wide, and make sure that you do not fall out. And then once you're upside down like this, legs are wide, then you can start to wrap the feet around the back. Good. Yep, and you notice right away it feels better to have it lower. So that is the trick for sure. Yeah, for you, Kathy, it seems like it's preventing you from tilting all the way back. So see if you can scoot it even lower down toward your hips, and that'll help you tilt back a little more. And it's okay. Sometimes first timers, that's what it looks like too. Nothing wrong with that. I know it's trust. So just take every step. You pushed it down, grab it on. And just the big thing is wide legs when you start to tilt back because that means you won't fall out. You were like a step away from it. If you ever feel comfortable enough to let go, once your feet are wrapped, that's fine. But it's all good. Make sure your feet are wrapped and then you. Also a little trick for you too. You're grabbing the whole fabric. It's much easier if you just grab this part of the fabric. Yeah. But take a little break for a moment. Nothing wrong with that. It takes a little bit of time to figure it out. Those that are starting to head up, and no rush for those that want to be upside down a bit longer. Those that are starting to head up, our restorative pose here is looking elbows. Just letting the shoulders relax forward. This one, it does have a little bit of that massage. So that is one thing about aerial. You do get those little massages. It gets better over time. The first time it's intense because your fascia is not used to that, but it's like rolling it out and it does get better over time. So yeah, so that you actually looked really good. So yeah, but you can always try different spots if you want to just kind of play with it. Okay. So those that know to be upside down a little bit longer, that's okay. You're welcome to just play upside down. Sometimes people get to the point where they come mostly for the inversion, so that's always fine. We're gonna take a couple of little stretches for those of us that are ready to be up. So we're bunching up the fabric to the front door side. We're taking a nice twist to that direction. So your shoulder that's opening up to the mountains, the back wall, that arm points open to that wall. Or you can continue to circle that hand around the back side of the head. So it makes the spine to a nice twist. You can decide how much your arm strength is helping you in the spine twist or just letting you be in that general shape. Deep breaths, deep inhales. Exhales, release, take it to the second side, over to back door. Shoulder that's to the back wall, that's the arm that opens, or circles around the back side of the head. Keep on playing with whatever amount feels good. Actually switch your arms out. That's the one. Yep, the one that was starting to go behind. That's the one that goes there. The other one over back. Good. Take one more breath here. Good inhale. Exhale. And then we'll start to return. So we're going to play with our next inversion already. This one helps you kind of learn how to get the fabric over your shoulders in a really safe way. There's another pose we're going to play with almost after that to help you kind of get another experience of that. But I first want you to just experience this so you can start feeling how the fabric can help you be nice and safe, doing kind of like a shoulder stand movement. So some people are visual learners. You're welcome to watch first and then do it. Some people are kind of kinesthetic learners. You watch by doing it with me. So it's up to you to know what to do. It would be safe. Those that have done vampire many times, go right ahead into it. So the idea is you're getting one thin layer of the back end of the fabric to completely cover shoulders. And that's what your whole body weight is going to be on. So you want to make sure it is totally covered. I like to use my elbows like chicken wings to help push all the excess down to my waist because all of that excess needs to be brought down to my feet. So once I've laid back, my head is out the back end. So my feet step in. To get the excess all the way down, I lift up my hips and then straighten the legs, not shifting it all down. So last steps to get to the inversion, hands grip up high, left and right. I get the feet up, turning the toes out, I just push into the fabric. The exact spot, just higher up than where my hands are. Push out to rise up. And it is a core movement just to practice that up and down for those that this is difficult. Okay, so get the shoulders covered. Nice and safe, it's completely covered like a cap sleeve. You don't want too much where it's gonna push into your neck, but you also don't want too little because it is what your body weight is being held up by. So you've got enough to cover it, and then you've got your chicken wings to pull the excess in your waist. Did that. Lay all the way back, try to top the back end. Good. So once you've got those steps, step the feet in, lift up the hips when you straighten out. Then I'll start to shift your fabric down. If you need to scoot the feet in again and lift up your hips and scoot it down again, that's fine. You can do it a couple of times. That'll make it so all that excess at the waist is down. So grip up high left and right. Hike the feet up, turn the toes out to push into the fabric. And once you've done that, you're welcome to just rise up slowly. Got it. Perfect. And if at any point you want to take a little break, just bring the head back. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, so you look great. So grab up your hands up left and right, nice and high. If your head needs a break, go ahead and give it a break, and then I'll take you through it right back to back. So that you're gripping up left and right, hike the feet all the way up. Yep, that's the right spot. Good. Only instead of wrapping, you're on the inside. So don't come up quite yet. And repeat that back. Turn the toes up. So feel how pushing into that blocks you. Yep. So then hand up left and right, and then it's safe to come upside down. If you ever need to come out, just sit on the floor. Nothing wrong with that. You're welcome. That's okay. Just bring the head back in and you can rest. If you want me to kind of help with steps, I'm happy to provide help with steps. I don't know. You probably have a little bit too much then. Usually too much will push a lot of pressure into the neck. Yeah, that's a little bit too much. Yeah, so just keep on stepping the fabric down. Yeah, those are the things that you start to learn this first time, those little balance points. So feel free to give it another try. Those that are upside down, we're almost to the point most of us are out. If you're still upside down, give yourself a couple bonus breaths. And you're welcome to just come up to sit. Good. Got a nice little restorative pose. Good. Just push out to see if you can lift the hips up a little bit. That's okay. Good. So there was a couple that just literally came out of the inversion. So this is kind of these restorative poses are kind of a communication time with me. If you're still just kind of resting, that's a sign to me, okay, just let her rest for a bit. When you start to sit up like you're ready to go, that communicates to me, okay, we're good, we're ready to move on. Good. I think we're pretty good inside for a little while. So let's go ahead and grab onto the fabric. We're gonna lift the hips all the way up and out. Good. So, yep. We'll kind of like tilt forward a little bit and then I'll hook right up. You got it. No, it's okay. Yeah, just keep on trying. You're almost there. You got it. Well, beautiful. Okay. So we're going to do a little warming up thing. So feel free to face the mirror. And what we're going to do, first we'll take a couple of rounds, making it the easier version, and then I'll introduce you to a slightly harder version. So either way, kind of grip up a little bit higher than shoulders. And what we're gonna do is fan our legs. So even though you're mirroring me, we're all gonna go from front door to back door at the same time. So the idea is swing from front door to back door, and then the other leg joins. Okay, so let's all do that side. So front door to back door, and then the other leg joins as high as you can. Good. So you're not turning, you're still facing your same. Yeah, there. So face forward. There you go. Okay, and then come back to face the other door. So back door to front door, back door to front door. Okay, let's do a couple rounds like that. Let's do 2 more rounds, both things. So front door to back door, front door to back door, and back door to front door, back door to front door. So Jennifer, if I'm facing this way, it's just this to this.
Okay.
This to this, yeah. I know it's confusing you being this. Okay, let's do one more like this. Okay, so front door to back door, front door to back door, and back door to front door, back door to front door. Beautiful. So your variation, if you want to try it, from your grip up here, you pull yourself up and try to do a fan in the air. When you pull yourself up, try to do a fan in the air. Okay? So you're free to attempt it. If that's too much, go back to what we were doing. Front door to back door, front door to back door. Okay? For at least 2 or 3 rounds. Good work. When you finish this round, go ahead and take fabric out in front of you. We're gripping the fabric. Just an easy grip after that lift. It's about as wide as shoulders. And start to let the upper body go forward, hips go back. Good, slow, easy breaths. That's a nice, really strong one, so good work already. Bend the knees to rise up. And from here, your right foot will step forward. Left foot will step back. So for this first moment, the front knee bends. As we lift our torso up and continue to lower the hips down, you should be feeling stretch on the front of the left. So the back heel can be up or down, whatever's helping you feel that left hip stretch. Good. Pyramid pose, straighten both legs, the back heel's back down. Lean directly forward into the fabric. Your choice if the front toes want to lift or stay forward. Lifting everything but that heel, brings it to calf if you want it. I feel that heart rate calming down. That was good work. From here, right elbow points down to the ground. The left straight arm leans a little bit to the right. Nice stretch for the side ribs. Straighten both arms. Pivot all the toes to the left long edge of the mat. Leaning forward, wide ankle, forward fold. Good. Turn the toes back to the top of the mat. And softly bend the knees, roll up. And we're going to switch our feet out. So get the feet about the same placement you just had. Front knee bends, the torso still up. Maybe come up to the back toes so you can lunge even deeper. Try to keep the back knee straight though. Good. Huge inhale. Exhale, that back heel slides in if it was lifted. 2 straight legs. looking directly forward into the fabric. Good. Left elbow points down to the ground, and straight right arm leans to the left. Good. 2 straight arms forward. Pivot all the toes to the right long edge of the mat. Nice forward fold to the side. In the knees, turn forward, roll up, step feet together. And we're going to take it to a nice hip hang. So sometimes I'll even lift up to my tippy toes so the fabric can definitely be across my hip bones. If it's in your guts, this is much more uncomfortable. So all the way to hip bones. And then any slack I like to take out, so I'll walk forward until I can't go lean any further. And then bend at the waist, drop the hands down. And right now we're nowhere near under plumb line. If you were to lift up the toes, you'd swing really far back. So you need 3 or 4 good steps back until you're under plumb line. This one is a massage for front of hips, that psoas area. So if that's intended, stay in down dog. Even try to lift hips away from the fabric or such a high down dog. If hip hang is possible today, lifting up the toes, you can hug around the shins. Forward. Just come up to toes, yeah. Yeah, you actually look like you're in a good spot. Yeah. You can even just bend straight down if that helps. Drop hands. Yeah, you kind of find the little steps that work for you. Oh, you looked great. See those little moments of trust when you're just in the present moment. That's beautiful. So just like before, everybody's different with inversion. Some people might be here another minute or so. Some people might be almost ready to come out. So if you're one of those that are coming out, slowly roll the head up and just kind of start to lean back once you're up. Fabric will be behind. No rush though, those that are still just enjoying. There's a couple that are going to be in a little bit longer. So those that are up and have been up for a little while, go ahead and slide fabric down past the shoulder blades. And just take a couple of steps forward. So it's like your hips are under plumb line. And then you're dropping your weight of hips down. It's like a seated posture. Good. We'll take right ankle to left thigh. Let that hip rotate open. Maybe even right fingers up helping that knee. It feels a little more balanced if you come forward. And you've done right knee for a little while, go ahead and try left knee. I would say even further forward if you good. Not just A huge inhale. Exhale, drop the foot. As we straighten the legs back, clasp the hands under the back. You can just pull the hands away from the face. Sink hands, walk the feet all the way back until you're standing up on your own again. Fabric flips out in front of you. We're gonna get a series that gets nice and deep into our legs. So let's start off with the fabric under the right ankle. And then from here, it's gonna be a slightly different stretch depending on what feels best. Some of us might be sliding hands down. This gets heart close to the thigh. Really good stretch. You'll notice if you're heading to the next one, usually stepping a little bit closer to plumb line will help you. But the second option is sliding hands up instead, taking more of a split section forward. So it's your choice, whatever feels better. Nothing wrong with the first option. Huge inhale. Exhale takes our weight over standing leg. Once again, peek up. Make sure you're not too far behind the line, just like an inch or so. So from there, slip the fabric to the side. So we've got a bent knee, hands up high. Try not to death grip. So if you're wrapping around, it's a soft grip. From there, sink your hips forward. Warrior one. If ever the fabric is too intense, this one is one you can spread out the surface area. So another chance to have that stretch front of left hip. Good, and we're gonna switch to warrior two. So grip both hands on the left strand. And then rotate your standing toes to the left. And then continue to sink your weight to mirror. Good. So this grip is totally safe. If you want to, front hand can go forward. It's your tricep pushing into the fabric. If you feel safe to bring second like that, that's fine. You don't have to. But if you find more stacked rather than good. Both hands grab back on, squeeze the thighs together. We're gonna still face this long edge of the mat, but slip back down to the good. So still gripping on this left strand. The left hand goes up, the right hand goes down. Feel how that already opens up the ribs. That's a nice stretch already. If anybody wants more like a split action, you can also do that here. Inhale, exhale, any amount, move it forward, come back over standing leg. Keep the right hand on. And what we're gonna do is continue to take another 90-degree turn to face the back wall. So this knee that's in the fabric bends down. And then we grip one hand over each shoulder. Good. Got it. So facing that back wall, like around. Face that way. You got it. Okay, we're gonna take a dancer's pose. So I like to grip as low down close to my shoulders as I can. And then what I do is I start to lean forward and then I kick my foot into the fabric. That creates a lean, that lift of it. Good. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Rising back up. Good. This one takes just a little bit of balance. We're dropping our hands down to the ground. If you need to use the wall to help you, that's okay. But we're eventually dropping hands to the ground and then straightening both legs. Good. Good. Seeing those moments of trust, that's really good. Okay, so once you got two straight legs, walk the hands backwards. I even walk it past where the foot is. That takes me to split. Good. Come out, walk your hands all the way to that back of the mat. Softly lower the left knee to the floor. You've got two options if you want to use your core. Option one, the knee lifts up softly and then lowers down. Option two, that left foot steps into the mat. We bring both knees in and straighten out, taking a few reps until eventually left knee is softly down for pivots. Good. Neither variation's right or wrong. It's whatever feels best for you. Good. Another huge inhale. Exhale. Slide the foot out of the fabric, drop the knees down. We're sinking our weight back, just child pose for a moment. Okay. We're still kneeling, but come upright. Turn around facing fabric. Grabbing on about as wide as the shoulders. We'll take a puppy pose. So hips stay over the knees, but the upper body goes down. They'll be downward. Just 2 or 3 good breaths of the huge shoulder opener. If it's too much, elbows bent is another good option. Good. One more inhale. Exhale, start to sit the hips back like another child pose. Even exaggerate it, rounding the spine up. Good inhale. Exhale. Spine straightens up. Use the grip of fabric to help us come to stand. Good. Left foot in. Okay, so you've got the two options. Remember, you're not too far behind the line, just like a inch or two. Option one, slide hands down, heart get close to thigh. Option two, slide hands up, splits. Good. Standing upright, slip fabric through. So now we've got a bent knee. Soft grip up high. Hips sink forward, warrior one. Hands grip to right side. Rotate your standing toes to the right, long edge. Warrior two, sink hips to the mirror. Front arm goes forward. Maybe back arm goes back. It's whatever you feel comfortable with. You can always spread out the surface area if it's too intense under hamstring. Good. Huge inhale. Exhale. Hands grab on, squeezing our thighs together. Slip down to the ankle. Still on right strap, right hand goes up, left hand goes down. Maybe stay or maybe splits. Inhale. Exhale, come back. This is the one where we're going to take another 90-degree turn to face the back wall. So the knee bends down. Turn that 90 degrees or face the back wall to set the grip over each shoulder. You need to hop back. Sometimes that's a better placement for balance. And I like to do with dancers pose, the elbows squeezing to point directly back. That helps me feel like my shoulders are more engaged. Elbows point back, lean forward and kick the foot into the fabric, that little bit of strength. So it creates a nice foot. Good. Okay, so when we're coming out, wait till you have balance. Both hands to ground. 2 straight legs. Hands can walk back. Walk to the other end of the mat. This one's the optional core moment. So softly lower right knee to ground. Either lift that knee up and down to get the core activated, or perhaps stuck in the fabric. If you want an additional option in fabric, you could pike hips up above shoulders and flat back out. Your choice. As many reps as your body feels good with, until you're ready for right knee down. Dropping down, soft kneeling, back to child. We come up. This time, flip around to sit down, feet are planted in front of us. Gripping up as high as you can reach. I come up to stand. This time we've got some optional pull-ups. So maybe some of us are doing 2 or 3. Maybe some of us are trying to go for 10. It's individual, but you try to pull up and down. Take your breath. And then whenever you're ready to stand, you just walk back until you're standing up. I'll take a straddle back inversion whenever you're ready. Those that are still doing it, you're awesome. So those that know straddle back again, go right into it. This one's similar to the first one we did. When we're trying to get the fabric to that pant line and then our legs go wide before we wrap it, it's the same steps. So instead of letting the fabric just kind of go wherever it goes as I come back, I need to help have my hands active. And this one might be even slightly lower than pant line, that sacral area. So then 1 foot steps forward, 1 foot back. I'm pushing into it to keep it here as I bend my knees. This is what locks it in place exactly where I want it to be. So once I'm here, I tiptoe until I'm back under plumb line. Otherwise, I'll swing like crazy. Hands up, knees wide. Just wrap the feet and you're safe to let go. Okay. So hands are active in place. 1 foot forward, 1 back. Knees slightly bend. Come under plumb line. Hands up, knees wide. Wrap the feet. You want to try or you good? Oh yeah. That's fine. Take little mental steps. Yep. This is one last chance for that vertebrae just to get a good long chance. So you're totally safe, Marianne, if you want to let go. There's nothing that will happen. You're safe. Good. Just lean back, take some of those stretches we did before, like this. Sometimes there's little like knee circles that I'll do, or just kind of twist my. There's all sorts of options right here. Come forward until it's like you're sitting on a chair under the cloud. Those that are hanging, take as much time as you want. This is not a rush. This is our last thing before Shavasana. So whenever you're happy, you've taken a recovery moment, you're welcome to just take all those steps we did at the beginning to come back inside for Shavasana. So that's finding the front end, wave it out, take the 5 grips, or you head in, all of those steps. We're coming out softly. It's exactly what you want to do. Use your core, just like that. Go ahead and lean back to give your head a break for a moment. Yeah, you're right. So if you do the whole thing again, wave it out left to right, and then take a full 5 or so. If you have smaller ones, take more. Usually you get to connect the thumbs. This is where you grab a lot before you head in. Yeah, I just. So there tends to be 3 favorite spots for the arms. X over the heart is beautiful. Arms by the side like a soldier is another option. And then the last is elbows by the ears, arms dangling off the back end. So whatever feels most comfortable is beautiful. Still no rush. Those that are recovering, those that are enjoying, still 0 rush. Got several minutes to be in our Shavasana state. So still let this be a moment of presence. Feel how your body's responding after the stretching and strengthening. Feel how the breath is wanting to flow. Maybe compare your experience in your body right now to how it's been all day. See if you can find this deeper awareness, deeper presence. we'll slowly start to make our way out. Start by taking a good breath or two, just huge inhale. This long exhale. Sometimes I'll do a stretch of the arms to the back wall. Taking a few of those swings, shoulders right and left. Letting those ribs get a chance to open. Sometimes I'll take a fetal position. For that, you keep the body long, but you just roll over onto one hip. So one hip is stacked on top of the other hip. From there, you can curl in like a table ball. Arc the spine back. So I'll usually do 2 or 3 to one side, 2 or 3 to the other side, just helping the spine continue to wake back up into a transition the rest of the day, sooner or later. At some point, sooner or later, we'll come up to a comfortable seated place. Hands joined together in front of heart. For a brief moment, just connecting back to intention. This idea of presence and playfulness as we head forward. Treating even old things like it's something new. Sometimes I've driven down a path 50 million times, and suddenly I notice a business that I drive by that I've never seen before. There's always new fun things when we start to open our eyes and let ourselves just be more present in the moment. So with this idea of presence to help lead us on, let's wrap up the time shared together today with the sound of full deep inhale. May we be filled with light, happiness, and peace. Namaste.